Hey, howdy ho, everybody! This is Postmortem Nightshade, and I am back to report on another Regal Mystery Movie Monday. The surprise film for the first week of June was The Furious. Directed by Kenji Tanigaki, this film stars Miao Ji-ye, apologies, I hope I pronounced that semi-correctly, and Joe Taslim as an unexpected kung fu crime-fighting duo as they will stop at nothing to save their missing loved ones. I do want to say right up front that I am not super familiar with kung fu action films, and that this was my first introduction to the genre. And, well, I always like to start with the positives, so let me start with those for this film. The fights, obviously, were beyond amazingly well choreographed. The movie is extremely action packed, which I always am looking for in an action film. Some of them don't have enough action, in my opinion. This movie definitely does not have that problem. I thought that the relationship between our lead father and daughter characters was super sweet and heartwarming, and the two lead crime fighters had good chemistry. There was practical gore and violence in abundance in this film, and the cinematography was actually something I thought was pretty good. It has this very dark, blue, gritty edge to it, and it just matches the tone of the movie really well. However, when it comes to the rest of the film, I'm pretty mixed on it. The film can often feel like it doesn't know how to balance its tone. The subject matter is very serious and involves children, and as such, there are some pretty dark themes and scenes in this movie, but there is also a lot of levity and camp at other parts, and the juxtaposition between the two felt off kilter to me. I'm not saying you can't have camp in films with serious themes. I mean, obviously, there's a whole genre called dark comedies for a reason. I just feel like this particular film's tone wasn't balanced all that well. In a similar vein regarding balancing tone, there is also the absolute requirement to suspend one's disbelief as some seriously unbelievable and over the top events or story beats occur.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Our main characters also have an ungodly amount of plot armor, which at times is confusing in the fight scenes because certain things that should definitely incapacitate or annihilate someone don't actually do that, and then other smaller things in a fight have a way bigger impact than it feels they should have. This film was also shown to us with an English dub, which the dub acting wasn't super great. It just felt kind of lifeless from several characters, although some were amazing. There were just some that felt pretty lifeless and stilted. Honestly, I usually just prefer to read subtitles on foreign films. Also, from my research, it does not seem that the team that worked on this film used the AI face dubbing technology I've seen around online, which just leads me to believe there were a lot of budget constraints when it came to executing the overall ADR and dubbing process. And while I appreciate the amount of practical gore that was in this movie, there were also several other elements that were CGI and they kind of stuck out a lot. But again, that's probably due to budgeting constraints. This movie also runs at nearly 2 hours, and it definitely didn't need to be that long. At times, I felt the pace dragging, so I think 15 to 30 minutes being shaved off this film would have kept everything moving at a better speed. As a whole, the action in the film was really fun to watch and super engaging. There were just some story elements, tone issues, pacing, film length, and dubbing ADR problems that held the movie back for me. So, on my scale, this film gets between a hey Heidi okay and a hey Heidi no really maybe just stop. But I am always in support of indie filmmakers. I think it is amazing the action they were able to execute with this budget. And these, of course, are just my personal opinions on the film. My best friend, who I saw this movie with, actually really loved this one, and I can easily see audience having a super great time with this movie. So maybe honestly, this one just wasn't for me. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of The Furious? Thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and if you'd like to follow along on my movie review journey, please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all very soon.